Right guys, so on a previous video somebody commented to do another comparison really, but this time they mentioned the Porsche GT1, the 911 GT1, and I thought, what a great idea. It's one of my favourite cars in all of sport car racing, you know, both past and present really, it's right up there. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare them in Assetto Corsa and Automobilista too. So, you know, again, I remember watching these back in the day in real life, you know, the FIA GT1 World Championship. It was mainly, I mean, we had the McLaren F1s, but we also had, I think, the biggest, I suppose, competitor to Porsche back then was Mercedes in the CLK GT1. We all remember the one driven by Bert Schneider, Mark Webber. You know, remember that historic blip at Le Mans as well in the GT1. So I thought, yeah, I'll do a back-to-back, and what I've done is I've installed the latest SOL and custom shaders patch updates as well, because most people using this on PC are going to be using Content Manager. So I thought, well, let's, you know, to stand a chance graphically against AMS2, I'll probably have to make sure I do the whole SOL thing and update everything and stuff. So that's what I've done, because we want to make it kind of, you know, fair comparison, but also highlight what's good in both sims. So yeah, with that anyway, I've had to make some changes to the setup of this car because the default one was undrivable, which is totally fine. So let's get, I suppose, stuck into how it feels. So the force feedback is very, very good. I can feel the detail, I can feel the bumps in the road, I know what the car is going to do. And the car, generally, by the way, feels a bit of a beast, a bit of a bear, like that's angry. So even though I'm getting all of this information in the steering wheel, which is really good information, I'm still reminded that, yeah, I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. That doesn't mean you're going to have your way with me. And that's exactly what it feels like. So I know what the car wants to do, it's going to do it, and I'm just being made aware of it. The car's like letting me know, hey, I'm going to do this, whether you like it or not. And it's up to you then to kind of drive around that thing that it's doing, which is good because, you know, you can't drive everything kind of absolute balls out without some sort of consequence, and in this game this car will definitely give you that consequence reminder. So it's a little bit understeery, so, you know, it's GT1, they're kind of, you know, overpowered for what they are, but still decent sort of downforce. But this is like an absolute grizzly bear, and I've edited the setup to like stiffen the front end up quite a bit, but it's still a bit of a struggle. It just seems really, really slidey, but hey, that's the car. It is engaging, like, you know, I think, yeah, I mean, if I spent a bit more time with it and was a bit more gentle with presenting it to corners, I mean, yeah, it's really good. It is challenging to drive. It's certainly a difficult one to drive, that's for sure. But yeah, you can have you know, a nice couple of laps. The key thing is, right, if a car is easy or hard to drive, that's fine. That's down to the car. That's down to the nature of the beast, basically. But the key, I mean, look at that, amazing. But the key thing is, for me, is that, okay, the car can do what it wants. It can, I mean, see how quick there I was able to snap correct that before the thing decided to loop completely on brakes. That is rapid, quick force feedback, very detailed, very accurate, and I was able to catch the thing absolutely perfectly. So let me just be clear, the car is a bit lively, and that could be tuned out with a bit of setup work. And obviously if I was prepping for a race on this thing, I'd be doing a bit more practice and so on. So the car being a bit lively like this is not down to, you know, bad force feedback or bad physics or anything like that. Quite the opposite, in fact. The car's all over the place. Well, kind of all over the place due to setup, but most importantly, I can feel it. It's telling me, hey, know, I'm going to brake at the back. I'm going to see there. Like, I'll just let it go. Let's have a look at the damage model. Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, I like that, the kind of cracked windshield and all of that. So let's have a look at the replay and kind of let's gather thoughts on this one. So I'll just shut up for a minute and we'll just listen. Yeah, I mean, it looks really good. It sounds great, and despite, like Assetto being, what was it, 2013 this thing was released, can still, you know, with Sol and CSP and stuff, it can still look really, really good. The lighting effects and the shimmer, the reflection off the car body, given the you know, the time of day, the dusk time of day. I think it's like, you know, 6 p.m. or something like that. Yeah, it's really, really cool. And that's one of the great things about Assetto Corsa, is that, you know, particularly on PC, you can literally race any car track combination that you can think of or imagine. I've seen people racing like trolleys and stuff. It's, you know, it's great, and it's really backed up by a great community that we have in the sim racing world, and it allows people to literally get together. Like, if you want to run one of these in a league, you know, it can be done. If you want to run LMP in a league, or the old BTCC or whatever you want, basically, Assetto Corsa will pretty much allow that. I was briefly in a Formula 1 21, the F1 2021 cars, using the RSS mod, and I've done a couple of races in that, and it was fantastic. You know, so there is people out there that will race pretty much anything, that want to race anything. And yeah, it's definitely worth having a look at. But anyway, we'll pause this one here. We'll go and grab the same car, the same track in Automobilista 2 and see how it compares. But yeah, this is the force feedback on this for such a, let's say, an older sim is very impressive. In fact, the snappiness of the feedback stood out to me in a positive way. You know, even though driving the car was very challenging and not always enjoyable because I was trying to catch it all the time, but I will say that the actual force feedback was very, very snappy, and I was very impressed with that. Look at the reflections actually on the windshield. Even the light, I mean, yeah, it looks really, really good, doesn't it? Great sounds as well. Yeah, right, we'll pause this one here, guys. I'll go and jump into AMS2, and we shall continue this one. Right, guys, now in AMS2, in the Porsche GT1, so yeah, let's go for it. Let's see what this is like. And to keep the test somewhat similar, I've also gone with, you know, the time of day is similar as well, so we're still in kind of that dusk kind of time of day, so yeah. Yeah, now one thing I just have to be mindful of, that this game on pressure cold tyres isn't the very best, so we just have to wait maybe a lap or so to get the tyres up to temp. First thing that stands out to me is the visuals and the lighting effects. I mean, look at the lens flare, and not only coming through the windshield, but also like around the car, through the side windows and stuff. The shadows. This is visually, it's in a different league. Well, you'd expect that. I mean, it's a modern kind of sim. It's much newer. and in the sound department I think it's a bit better too, in my opinion. So yeah, probably stating the obvious there given the age of both games, but Assetto does a great job regardless. So from a driving physics wise, the setup on this is a lot more stable and running wide a lot though. So the setup is way more stable compared to Assetto, so it's probably just going to take me a lap or so to get used to. See these slow speed sections, the car is quite clumsy as you expect because it doesn't have the aero balance, and then the side to side heave, which is just telling me that the roll bar or something, the suspension might be a little bit too soft. It's just a bit overreacting a bit, but that's again setup related mainly. The key thing for me, which was similar to Assetto, was the feedback here. I can feel everything, and that right there, when I went in late into it, was just that lazy four-wheel drift. It's like the car just lost grip and decided to push itself on in a lazy way. So true to life. That's what a car would do on track, and I'm not saying a GT1 car, just a car. We're talking about physics at the end of the day. So there we go again, just that lazy drift when the car is nicely balanced but you've just pushed it too far. Let's just see if I can get a half decent lap here. It's amazing the pace you can find when you're not trying to think and talk at the same time, you know. But let's finish this one off. Feels great, steering wheel's alive. And it was as well in Assetto Corsa, like, let's be honest, it wasn't that. I mean, that steering wheel was very, very responsive as well. Trail braking all the way in. And then, oh, keep locking up there, it's so punishing, as it should be. Yeah, this is a great, great car. Really is. And yeah, these slow corners are done very well. It's just all of the downforce just disappears and it becomes a clumsy beast again, which is probably what it should be as well, yeah. So yeah, you can feel, you know, brilliant information through this as well. It's just as quick as Assetto Corsa in terms of the feedback you're getting. But yeah, it looks visually stunning. Look at the reflections on the window there, even. Yeah, I mean, visually, it's not a contest, is it? In terms of driving, like I say, it's still very direct. The force feedback is still very quick. The force feedback is a bit more detailed. Obviously, we're picking up a lot more surface detail and curb detail, which, again, you'd probably expect that being a modern sim. But I will say that the sound is amazing. I will say though that, like, you know, Assetto Corsa does a really good job at the driving experience piece as well. The feedback is surprisingly good for a sim of its age. It's really good. This is like in a similar vein, very very good force feedback as well. But that being said, it's just everything about it is more modern. One criticism of AMS2, and it's not just with regard to this particular test or this particular car, it's just in general that the wheels, the tyres, or the wheels appear to lock up very easy compared to other sims, at any speed. And remember that, in a car that generates a bit of downforce, or even, a good bit of speed, when you go on the throttle on the brake quite hard, it should be difficult enough to lock up, but I just think in AMS it seems to be a little bit too easy to do that. Let's just have a listen to this car. Yeah, the sounds are great. But yeah, like I say, my opinion, this is a bit better. Like, it's more modern. Obviously, it looks and sounds better. It's a bit trickier because of the brakes locking up quite easily. Now, you could probably dial that out with, adjusting your brake settings and stuff like that, but to be honest, you shouldn't really have to. It's just one of those things in AMS that you have to be aware of. Just a bit of a lighter brake pedal, which is unfortunate because these are locking up with not a lot of brake force being applied, and that's one thing that needs to be addressed by AMS2 in general, I think. But yeah, two great cars, two great sims, and yeah, like I say, we're in a golden era, guys, to be able to drive these old and excellent sports cars in modern sims with modern hardware. I mean, we are truly spoiled, and I've said it a number of times, but yeah, we really are. Anyway, guys, we'll leave it there. Thanks for watching, and yeah, if you like this type of stuff, do the like and subscribe thing, and yeah, let's see what the next head-to-head brings. Thanks.